get asked that question a lot, that, Doc, sometimes too, can't love have its downsides? Well, I agree. When you are hooked onto it, just like when people are hooked or addicted to cocaine or any other drug, when that love is suddenly withdrawn, then unfortunately you can experience some difficulties with your health. And this is where I want to talk about the broken heart syndrome. So most people might have heard about it, but most people don't know that it's an accepted medical diagnosis. We think that, oh, first-time lovers are the ones who experience a broken heart. But actually, the data says very different. The broken heart syndrome can affect both males and females, but the data shows that it is much more common in older women. Yes, women aged between 55 and 75 years old are the ones who experience what we call this broken heart syndrome. Actually, when we talk about the broken heart syndrome, we're talking about stress, a sudden intense physical or emotional stress that has a deleterious effect on the heart. The Japanese gave it a name, and they call it the Takotsubo cardiomyopathy. Well, Takotsubo is the name of a Japanese pot that they use in trapping octopus. And that pot has a very wide bottom and a very, very narrow neck. So we found out that whenever you experience intense emotional stress, the shape of the left side of the heart becomes like that Japanese pot. Wide bottom base and a very narrow neck. And that is not very healthy. You would even experience the symptoms similar to one experiencing a heart attack, where you have a certain tightness in your chest. You may have difficulty in breathing, sudden dizziness, and people may actually pass out. Now, what is a trigger for that sudden emotional stress? Grief. Grief from losing something very, very important. And for a lot of people, when they are in a loving relationship, be it a marriage, be it your boyfriend, girlfriend, then they put a lot of value on that relationship. And if that relationship is suddenly taken away, then you experience intense emotional difficulties or stress, and the heart takes a pounding. This, I believe, is also the reason why love is linked to the heart by a lot of people. It is an adverse effect that when love is broken, the heart takes a beating, not necessarily the brain. So yes, there is something we call stress cardiomyopathy or broken heart syndrome that happens as a result of a sudden and a very intense emotional stress occasioned by grief from the breakdown of a very loving relationship.